and welcome to Assassin's Central. I'm Louise Blaine and I'm here with Raphael Lacoste, Art Director in Assassin's Creed Origins. And today we're here to talk about the amazing cities of Assassin's Creed Origins. We have a whole country, we have Alexandria, we have Memphis, and all of that needs to come from you, Raphael, the design of each city.
And the team.
And the team, yes, and the team. And it needs to feel different. How will we feel when we explore each of these different cities?
So I think that something very important, when you have like an environment of this scale, you want to create an interesting contrast between all the different cities and the different biomes to create maybe some surprises, but also to create a desire of exploration. You always want to explore something that looks different, and you want all the time to surprise the player. So that's why I would say ancient Egypt is already fascinating by the diversity of the cities and the cultures. In Alexandria, you have like almost a brand new city, just because of the time period. We have an interesting diversity that was brought to life in the game. Alexandria is almost like a construction site. It's a brand new city with bright colors. So you can imagine for an Egyptian arriving in Alexandria, you see the lighthouse. It's 125 meters high. It must be something incredible, even for us, if you see that now.
Was that something that you created sort of one for one? Was that
yeah, because we didn't have to exaggerate, because it was just 1 for 1 is already something incredible. You can see it from all over the place. The Great Library, you know, all these very fascinating historical landmarks. Also, something interesting is that there is nothing left from all these places, so we can reinvent them. We can have like a lot of freedom in the creation. If you compare to a game that was set in Paris or London, when you can compare the photos, we had way more freedom, creative freedom. So for the artist, it was a huge challenge, but also super interesting. Memphis is very different from Alexandria. It's a very old city. It's already 3,000 years old. So when you arrive in Memphis, you have a completely different world to explore. It's a very different feeling. So that's, I think, part of the richness of the open world of Origins.
Do you think there's something about that will surprise people? Because obviously the first thing people think of when they think of Egypt is they think of sandy deserts, and they think of everything looking a bit old, and the sculptures looking a bit faded. But these had colour, right?
Yeah,
these were colourful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we brought to life all these landmarks. For instance, you discover in Memphis the Temple of Ptah with massive pylons, in the center of the city. You can see it from the distance, and we created all the colors on the hieroglyphs, and it's really interesting because it's very simple, minimalist. It catches the light, from all the directions, but it looks really saturated. It's very rich. Also, the pyramids, they were covered with white stone.
Yeah, there's gold on the top.
And gold on the top. So in the distance, you can imagine you're in the fields, a field of flax or maybe of wheat, and you see this massive minimal sculpture in the distance, but it's massive at the same time and extremely simple. It catches the lights from the distance. It must have been looking like incredible, for the people at this time.
Amazing. I must say that when I first played, seeing the pyramid in the distance was just incredible, and I think everyone watching will probably agree that the screenshot button has never been pressed quite so much. So thank you very much for your time, Raphael, much appreciated. As ever, that was Assassin's Central, and remember, nothing is true, everything is permitted.